Friday morning as you join me here in London, and it's just getting light. It looks quite grey at the moment, but it's supposed to be very nice later on. It was absolutely gorgeous yesterday, very sunny and warm. It was a fantastic day weather-wise yesterday. In fact, apparently it was warmer than Malaga. So this is my to-do list for the next 3 days, and it includes going to the hairdressers, speaking to the dentist, not actually going into the dentist because he hasn't got the letter from the orthodontist yet. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will talk about it a bit later because I've had quite a few comments about my teeth of late, so I'm going to explain a little bit about what's going on with them. I also need to record this weekend, so apart from this vlog, which will go up next Wednesday, I've also got to record my Sunday video, which I haven't done yet. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I know it's a bit late in the day, but it's quite a labour-intensive video, so I need to do that. Well, in fact, you'll know what it is by the time you watch this. It's a dupes video. So I need to do that tomorrow. But I've got my list of makeup together, so I just need to write it out, well, type it out, and make sure I've got it all together. And some other things I'm doing today is I'm going to the hairdressers, which I'm really looking forward to. He doesn't know I'm growing out my fringe, but obviously I'll tell him when I get there. I will do some filming when I'm in town. Now, his salon is in Berwick Street, which is just on the edge of Soho. So it's to the east of where Liberties is. So we've got Oxford Street, we've got Regent Street, and then to the east of Regent Street is Carnaby Street, which I showed you all last week briefly in last week's vlog. And Berwick Street is a little bit further over to the left, going towards Tottenham Court Road, but a little bit south of that. This probably means diddly squat to you if you don't know London, but I'll pop up a map, actually. That's what I'll do. I'll pop up a little map just showing you where the key points or the key places are that I visited and I'm going to visit, just so you've got an idea of the geography. But I'm very lucky. Where I live, it only takes me about half an hour door to door to get from my house in North London down into the centre of the West End, because the tube system is so fast when it's working. It's so fast and quick and easy, and I've got two alternatives of lines that I can take. I can either go straight into Tottenham Court Road on the Northern Line, or I can take the Northern Line to Euston and then change onto the Central Line, which will take me to Oxford Circus. Both of those stations are really well placed for shopping, for Selfridges or Liberties or whatever. So I might be able to take you on a little tour of Soho. I'll try and do that because it's a really lively, interesting area if you haven't been there, and it's where a lot of music venues are, or were, maybe not so many now. It's a really big gay area with lots of gay bars, lots of coffee shops. There's a famous coffee shop called Bar Italia, which has been there for about 40 years. I've only ever been once, actually. It's where the Marquee Club used to be, which was where all the bands in the 60s and 70s used to play. I think it's moved now to Tottenham Court Road, but haven't been for donkey's years. It's also where there are quite a lot of comedy clubs, and it's just a really lively area. It used to be quite seedy back in the 70s and 80s, but it's not now. It's a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot safer, I would say, for women. So it's a really jolly area, and I will take you down there and show you around if I get the chance. Now, the other things I need to do are to book a long weekend in Aldborough in Suffolk, which is where we'd love to move to. We haven't been there for ages. And I've got some time off next week as well. So we thought we'd do a long weekend, maybe 4 nights. So I need to identify some properties. I think I have already, but just need to check them out. I also need to order a new shelving unit. I got rid of a shelving kind of trolley thing I had, which I kind of knew was going to be temporary. I got rid of that because it kept kind of leaning one way or the other and things falling out. So I need to get a proper shelving unit from IKEA, so I'm going to do that. And then on Sunday I'm quite excited because I've got someone coming to measure up for some carpets. I've got a vague idea how much it's going to be, but I just need to see which rooms I want to prioritise. I know I want to get this room done because I've never had a new carpet in this room in my study. I also need one in my filming room, which again, the carpet is ancient and it's got so many makeup stains on it. Ooh. And the odd toothpaste stain as well, don't tell anyone. And I think that's it really. So looking forward to seeing how the newsletter goes, because this newsletter that's gone out today, and if you haven't signed up for that, the link to do so is in the description box below. I put a recipe in it, which was a bit unexpected for me. I mean, I'm not noted as a great cook, it has to be said. However, I just thought it might be fun to stick in the old recipe. And what I'm probably going to do is, they won't all be my recipes if I carry on doing it. There'll be recipes that I've found from other people that I think are really good, because I've noticed that quite a lot of people that I read on Substack do that, and I think it's a great idea because it just opens you up to different recipes, people, chefs and cooks and cookery writers that you might not know about. So I thought that might be quite fun to do, so we'll see how it goes. Now, some lovely person in the comments asked if I would film myself cooking something. Now, I will do that, but it won't be this weekend. I need to think about it because, like I say, I'm not a great cook. Also, I've got to work out how to do the filming. So really looking forward to taking you along with me as I go about the next 3 days. So let's crack on. Right, off to the hairdresser's. Another blue sky, beautiful day. It's warm. I think it's going to be about 14C today, which in old money I think must be about 65, 66 maybe. Feels absolutely lovely. All I've got on is my cashmere jumper, not particularly heavy cashmere, my nice light wool coat from Mango, my sunnies, which a few of you have asked about, and the link will be in the description box, and if it isn't, please let me know. So I'll see you once I get to the other side. Right, hair is done. I'll show it off to you properly later on. And now we are going to Soho. Well, we're in Soho actually, but I'm going to show you around a bit, so hold on to your hats. So we are approaching Wardour Street, which is where the marquee was. You have to have your wits about you in the West End because bikes and delivery blokes are all over the show, so you just have to keep your eyes peeled. Ah, I think that might have been it. Yeah, I think this might have been the Muse. Flaxman Court. I don't know whether that was it, but it could well have been. Right, so we're going down towards Old Compton Street. And quite a few, or there were quite a few film companies like Universal, and I don't know whether Disney was here, but there were a few. They may have moved on now. Yeah, see Screen House over there, loads of people hanging outside. They're probably waiting to audition or something. Hammer House from the Hammer horror films, I think. Okay, we're now turning left into Old Compton Street.
Tommy Steele and Wee Willie Harris in the 50s. Starts off here before making big in the rest of the UK.
Ah. That sounded like a guide, taking people on a guided tour of the area, talking about Wee Willie Harris. I think that was a bit before my time. And this is Dean Street, running across Old Compton Street. Now I'm trying to remember whether the Groucho is in Dean Street or not. It's a famous showbiz club, but I don't know whether it is or not. Oh yeah, I think that's it, but it hasn't got the sign up where that green awning is. It had to close down because there was an incident a few weeks ago. So they shut it down for a bit, but I think that's it, where the green awning is. And it's where all the celebs go to hang out. You have to be a member. And they called it the Groucho after Groucho Marx, who said he wouldn't want to become a member of a club that would allow him in, or words to that effect. I don't think I've said that very well, but you know what I mean. You'll just be able to glimpse Chinatown there with all the red, with the red bunting down the bottom there. We won't go there today. I think we'll just carry on down Old Compton Street. Ah, do you know what? Let's go down to Romilly Street, because that is where Kettner's is, and Kettner's was, well it still is, but it now belongs to Soho House, was a fantastic restaurant, kind of from the Art Deco period, and it was always a place to go and eat, well drink actually, and then also eat, and then it was taken over by Pizza Express about 20 years ago I think, and now it belongs to Soho House, but it's a really beautiful old building. So let me just take you there and show you that. We go left here. I think it's on the corner, isn't it? Am I right? Yes, it's along here. And it is also the place where I first went on a date with my now husband. We went to Kettner's, and then we went to Jay Shiki's, which is a fantastic fish restaurant in the heart of Theatreland. I don't think non-members can go to Kettner's anymore, unfortunately, which is a real shame. Yeah, here it is. There's the menu. But sadly, people like us who are not members, I don't think can go in anymore. And then finally we come to Greek Street, which is the final street at the end of Old Compton before we get to Tottenham Court Road. So there's a little mini tour of Soho for you. Forgot to take a picture of the finished article in the hairdressers. And I don't always love the blow dry, but I think the colour is really nice. It's kind of in this light, and I'm just in natural light. I haven't actually put the light on in my room. It's looking kind of honey coloured, which I rather like. But of course it depends on the light. In fact, let me come right close to the window, see if it looks any different. Hard to say really, but he just put a toner on it and I think it's looking really nice. I like the colour. It's a little bit softer than it was before. I think it was a bit too yellow for my liking. Anyway, there we are. I've just got back and I'm going to make myself a bit of lunch. I actually had a banana bread in the hairdressers with a coffee. So I shouldn't really have any more bread. So I'll just see what I can find in the fridge. And then I'm going to do my typical, as I call it, lunch and loll. So I have a lunch, which is very late. It's about 3:30 now. And then I loll on the sofa and watch YouTube. So that's what I'm going to do now. I am completely exhausted now because I've just recorded all the clips of me wearing all the fashion that I've bought from Uniqlo and Mango and... oh, I've given the game away now. Never mind. Anyway, so I'm going to look at my schedule. Where is my schedule? And see what I need to do. Because I was going to record the main part of the fashion video today, but I don't think I'm going to have the energy. And also I need to edit the dupes video. So I'm going to pause there, I think, have a little break, maybe go outside because it's so lovely out there. All I've done is kind of take a turn around the garden. Right, I'm rambling now, so get on with it, Des. Go and have a rest, and then we'll come back later and I'll make a start on my editing for tomorrow's upload. Now, what I think I'll do is I may stop there for today. The only thing I will do, and if I can remember, the only thing I will do is show you what I'm wearing to the party tonight. I haven't decided what that is yet. It'll probably be black because that's my favourite colour. I have got the red dress, but it just seems a bit Christmassy now, especially in this weather. It seems so spring-like. I think, well, black isn't exactly spring-like either. Okay, I know. Anyway, we'll see how I feel and I'll show you the outfit before I go out. And then we'll come back tomorrow and I'll report back on the party. It's quite noisy, and you know what it's like at parties, you have to shout a bit and then your voice gets a bit scratchy or your throat gets a bit scratchy, but it is lovely to be able to celebrate with Helen and celebrate her 60th. It's fab, and she's got a great group of people here
and we're just delighted to be on the river in a beautiful, and it's a lovely evening. It's actually, I don't know what the temperature is, but it's probably about 11, and yeah, we're just really enjoying being here and celebrating with her.
Good evening. It's Sunday at about 6 p.m. and I'm just winding down for the week, and I thought I'd share my thoughts on how the long weekend has been for me, as I had Friday off, and what I'm going to be up to this coming week. And I thought I would also tell you something about my teeth, and I might tell you something else about an actor who shall be nameless, who I may have named on this channel before, but I can't remember. Anyway, let's start with what this weekend's been like. So as you will have seen, I got my hair done. I'm really pleased with it. The fringe is still quite short, obviously, but that'll take some time to grow out. But I am pleased with it. I think he's done a good job. And the tone of it has toned down a bit, which I like. It's not quite as yellow. However, I did notice that I had not done my crown very well. I think I might have mentioned that last week. So that's fine. I know next time I'm going to start with the crown when I do my roots. Saturday we went to the party in the evening, which was great. It was lovely to be on the river. But I have to say though, my shoes, or at least one of them, was really hurting me by the end of the evening. And I think it was just a little bit too tight at the top. That's the foot, the right foot, that I've got a sort of slight bunion going on there. And then today, I haven't been quite as productive as I would have liked. I have edited my dupes video, which if you haven't seen, I will link it down below for you. That would have come out on Sunday. And then Wednesday will be the vlog. And then next Sunday will be the fashion video. So I've been taking a lot of shots for that. I did film myself doing them, but I don't know whether I'm going to be using that in this video because I don't know whether they came out very well. I think what happens is the camera blurs, so it's probably better if I take shots with my phone camera. Anyway, you're not really interested in that. Get to the point, Des. Talk about your teeth. Now, lots of people have asked me, well, not lots, but a few people have asked me what exactly is going on with my teeth, or they've asked me, why don't you get them whitened? Have you thought about that, etc. So let me address all of those very quickly. My teeth have been the bane of my life. And at the moment, what's happening is, because my jaw is misaligned and I have a really bad overbite, what I'm doing now is I'm biting on my bottom teeth, which is causing them to crack, break, etc. So that's why I'm a bit challenged in the lower jaw. And also I've had a terrible problem with my jaw over the years. It's been fine for the last few years, but I used to get clicking and it used to seize up, and oh gosh, it was really bad at one time. So that is the main issue now, is what are we going to do about my teeth going forward? And that's why I went to the orthodontist last week, because she was able to say to me, look, there's nothing I can do from an orthodontic point of view. It's just going to have to be a piecemeal job, and if my dentist can improve things for a while and then he has to do them again, that's the way it's going to have to be. So I will go and see him probably this week or next week, and we'll talk about a treatment plan. So that's where we are with my teeth. I should get them whitened, actually. That is a good idea, and I have had that done before, but I suppose I've just been focusing on trying to get some teeth, never mind what colour they are. So that's my teeth. Now I wanted to ask you something. As many of you know, my mum was an actress, and she was in a play when I was 14 for about a year, I think. And my mother's died many years ago. For those of you who didn't know, she died in 1992. So fast forward to 2006, and a very well-known British actor wrote an autobiography in which he talked about my mum. And he said that my mum and he had been in a play together. And then he talked about some other things that went on between the two of them. I won't say any more about that. So at the time when I read this, or at least it was pointed out to me, I didn't actually read his book, but the reason I knew about it was because one of the supporters of the charity that I worked for at the time, who knew about my mum, had told me that he'd written this book and it was serialised in the Daily Mail. She actually sent me a copy through the post of this passage mentioning my mum. Now, when I read this, I thought, well, that's interesting, because I don't remember seeing him, although I wouldn't have known who he was, but I didn't remember his name, and I was always really clued up about the names of people in the play that my mum was in. I grew up in an acting household and a producing household, and my dad had a copy of Spotlight, which was this huge actors directory, and many times on a Sunday when I'd go around and see him, I'd spend hours just leafing through it and getting to know all the actors. I don't really know why, but I suppose he was probably watching a war film or something, or Cowboys and Indians, and I wasn't really interested in that. So I'd spend hours looking at this directory, and I got to know many actors' names. So I didn't recognise him as having been in the play, but I assumed that what he said was true. So I didn't think a lot more about it. And then actually years later, about 10 years later, actually our paths crossed because he was a supporter of a charity that I had then moved to. No, it wasn't years later, it was 2 years later, 2 or 3. Anyway, I continued to believe it. But then I started to think, but this is really weird, because how old exactly is he? And if he was playing such a junior part, as he seemed to intimate that he was, how could he have been old enough? I was a bit confused about the ages. So I found the programme of the play that my mum was in, and there was no mention of this actor at all. But I then found the cast that took over after my mum and most of the leads had been in it for a year. Another cast took over so that the play could continue, and he was mentioned in that cast, but not in the cast with my mum in it. Now, given that my mum died in 1992 and he wrote this book in 2006, and you can't libel the dead, did he use my mum's name as a kind of an extra added thing to make his book sell? Although my mum was not that famous, but she was more famous than the actress that took over from her. And did he have a thing with that actress? I don't know. But it's really niggled me. It's really niggled me, because it niggled me at first, actually, even though I believed it, the story, because I thought, well, it's a bit sullying her reputation, isn't it? Even though it's possible, and let's be honest here, it's possible that her reputation was already not sullied, but it's possible that her reputation went before her, or had done when she was younger. Let's put it that way. And she would have gone with that. She would have been fine with that. And she probably would have been, she might have even been fine with it if it was true. But what if it isn't true? I don't know. I feel quite uncomfortable about it, and it's niggling away at me. On the other hand, should I just let it lie? I mean, what can I do? I can only get him to admit that he lied, but I'm not going to make that public, am I? Because that wouldn't do me any favours, especially if he sued me and said, well, I can prove, that I was in the play with your mum, and so, pay me £1 million or something for libelling me. So I'm not going to do that. I mean, I am talking about it in public now because I'm talking about it to you, but I haven't said who this person is. So yes, a bit of a interesting issue, and one that has been occupying my mind this weekend for some weird reason. Now, I know why it is. It's because he's doing a tour, that's why. Anyway, I don't think I've said anything libelous, because I don't know the truth of it. I just don't know. But I suppose what was interesting for me is that originally I just believed it, and now I'm not sure that I do. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. So we've come to the end of another vlog, and I'm so glad that you seem to be enjoying the vlogs, because I know a few of you have said in the past that you've enjoyed them, but I was always unsure about whether to continue with them. But now that I'm kind of, I think, getting into my stride and seeing that I can film a little bit outside and take you with me when I'm doing stuff, I've got lots more ideas for vlogs. So I will continue to do them for the foreseeable future. And I hope you continue to watch them and enjoy them. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. And thank you so much. Oh, of course, there's my newsletter, which you may already know about, but the link to subscribe is in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. I absolutely love talking to you. It's as if I'm talking to you face to face. I absolutely love it. And by the way, I have thought about doing a live at some point. So let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do that. I thought that'd be a bit of fun. But what if no one turned up? That wouldn't be much cop, would it? Anyway, I'm thinking about it. So have a lovely day, evening, whatever time of day or night it is where you are. Keep safe, lots and lots of love, and I'll look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.